this point, I think we need to change our name to Atlanta United. I know what you're thinking, but isn't it Atlanta? Well, don't worry, this team always provides the L for you. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Blues and Stripes. So yeah, another loss, another one where I don't think we scored. I stopped watching after the second goal because, I mean, yeah, it's game's over. I think the biggest takeaway from this game that I have, the biggest disappointment that I have, is how few empty seats that I saw. I mean, it still looked like there were plenty, but definitely not enough for there to be any sort of statement made to the owners, the board, to say, hey, shit's not good enough. We need to be seeing pretty much an empty stadium. Like, nobody should be going to these matches. I realize some people, they paid money. There's a lot of season ticket holders. So I understand. I understand that some people aren't going to be there just because they don't want to have wasted their money. But let's be honest, you're kind of wasting your money anyway just by going. Like, at the very least, just don't go. Like, that's a better use of your time and money. Go do something fun. Go do something enjoyable, because there's nothing enjoyable about this. There's nothing enjoyable about watching Atlanta United. This is a trash team. And it's embarrassing that, what are we, 1-1-7 now? This is awful. First half, didn't watch too much of it. It's kind of in and out. I saw bits and pieces of it, part of it because dealing with a little bit of internet issues here. But second half, I did watch the entirety of it, and it was just embarrassing to watch. To see how easy it is for Nashville to score twice on us from 2 counterattacks because we've committed so many numbers forward, and then they just get a breakaway, and we have players jogging back as if it's not that big of a deal. And then we give up 2 goals that way. I mean, that's awful. Where's the effort? Where's the intensity to try to get back and prevent a goal? I know I said I was gonna try to do more reviews, but honestly, watching it, it just pisses me off to watch how bad this defense is. To see how just all over the place we are. Because these players are out of position, or they're not trying that hard to get back. It's just awful to watch. This is not a team that cares. This is a team that's just out there. They're just out there to collect a paycheck. And that's what they do every single week. They collect that paycheck. Do they earn it? No. But they collect it anyway, because that's the MLS, guys. We're just going to be out here. We're going to do our best, and then maybe we'll win a game here or there. So I don't even know how much of this I can put on Tata Martino, to be perfectly honest. And again, I do want to offer a bit of an apology to Ronnie Dyla, because even though I don't think he's a great manager based on his track record, clearly last season was not on him, because mostly the same team with a few exceptions, and we are still absolutely terrible. And we're probably, once again, only going to win maybe 4 or 5 matches this entire season, and that's not good enough. But yeah, looking individually at these players, I mean, Hoyos, just terrible as a keeper. The first goal that goes in, he's moving like a snail. Like, the way that he goes down, I would say it's like a tree falling, but I think a tree falls faster than he does. And there's no reaction to it either. Like, he goes to the left side to cover his near post, but then as soon as it comes back towards his right, you could see his hand comes out after the ball's 5 feet behind him. There's just not enough reaction there, and the fact that we have him as our starting keeper, the only other option is the young kid. That's terrible. It's a terrible pickup. Jakob at right back, he's constantly getting up the pitch, but that leaves him out of position more often than not, so every single time there's a counterattack, we are completely exposed, and their wing is almost always open because he's nowhere to be found. Baez is kind of the same way. He's too slow to react to situations. Amador came in, didn't look much better, so our fullback situation right now is just in dire straits. Gregerson and Mihai, or Mihaj, I don't know. I heard the annoying commentators say Mihai at some point, but who knows if that's how you pronounce it. But the both of them, I said this in the previous video, but they don't look connected as a unit back there. They're not working off of each other. They're not trying to stay within each other's vicinity to make sure if one makes a mistake, the other one's there to clean it up. They're just off doing their own thing. One of them will go charging up the pitch to make a tackle, and then he gets beat, and suddenly now it's the other defender that's just there to try to make things happen, try to make a defensive challenge. It's so all over the place. It's so disorganized. And all I can ask is, what are they doing to correct this? Because we keep giving up goals in every single match. I think there's only one match this season where we didn't concede, and it was the 0-0 draw. So what are we doing to correct this? Because clearly this is an issue. We even gave up a goal against Chattanooga in a similar fashion. One ball over the top, and defenders aren't turned on to it. I think Barakal gets run past. It's just an easy goal to concede. So even when our starting defenders aren't on, we still have the same issues. So there's something here that they're not working to correct, and that's a huge problem. Into the midfield, Cooper Sanchez, I mean, seems like a talented young kid. I had to look up his age to be sure I was right about him being a kid, but yeah, he's 18 years old. We should not be relying on an 18-year-old in the midfield. And there are times whenever you can see that youth and inexperience get exposed because he loses the ball too easily or he's out of position. whenever we're trying to work back and make sure we're not getting countered on. Muyumba I talked about in the last video as well, but he's not good enough on either side of the ball. Defensively, he gets beat too easily, gives up possession too easily. For him to be essentially our holding mid, because he's the one that drops in between the two defenders, kind of what Lorenowitz did when Tata was here first time. He's not good enough to be that defensive midfielder because you need that defensive midfielder to, 1, read the game well, which he doesn't, 2, be defensively solid, which he isn't, and 3, not give away the ball cheaply, which he does. So he's not the type of player that I want to rely on there, so another poor pickup in my opinion. Galarza, I talked about him positively a little bit in the last video, but to be honest, he was not effective at all tonight. A lot of his passes were misplaced. He gave away the ball trying to beat players with skill. And there are times whenever he was doing it and he didn't need to. You know, he got past the guy, but then it's like he wanted to beat him again, so he cut back, then tried to make him, and then he'd lose possession. So he seems like a player that's trying to do a little bit too much on the ball, and it's not what we need in our midfield. Moranchuk, I talked about him a little bit in the last video, mentioned how I haven't seen enough of him, but I know he's scoring a lot, so I decided to really focus on him tonight. And yeah, I think finishing might be most of his game. He did have a couple of nice touches on the ball, he cut it in and out of some defenders, but he's very weak. He gets knocked off the ball a lot. He's got a little bit more pace than I remember seeing him originally, because I remember when I first saw him when he first came in, he was so slow. So now at least he seems to be faster, but there are a lot of times where I don't see him connecting in the game. I don't see him involved. It's almost like he switches off and just waits for the game to come to him. Fortune, I remember when he first came in, I thought there was no way this kid was ever going to be an MLS player, and now he's actually turned himself into a good player. I remember, I think it was the first season after Pineda came in. I don't know if he did some work in the offseason, but whatever he did, he started to look like a more competent MLS player. And then, of course, tears his ACL, I think. So it's good to see him back. I hope that will help a little bit, but from what I saw tonight, I just don't see him quite as effective in a more forward position, and that's where Tata was playing him. I think he's a lot better when he's dropped it deeper into the midfield. Honestly, I think he could probably be more useful than Cooper Sanchez. And then Latte La up top, he's probably the target of a lot of the ire of Atlanta United fans online because he was brought in for a lot of money, brought in from the championship, so you would think he'd be pretty competent as a striker, and he's just not hit the ground running in the MLS at all. And I think that happens sometimes for some of these players that do come from bigger leagues, from better leagues. They come into the MLS and they expect it to be kind of easy. And then when it's not as easy as they thought it would be, because I mean, the MLS is not a great technical league, but you do have a lot of very talented athletes in this league, which means they are going to be tough. They're going to be strong. They're going to be fast. And so sometimes these players, they aren't expecting that. And I don't know if he expected that when he came in. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think he is the type of striker that Tata needs. I don't know if he was the striker that Dyla needed either, because he didn't do well last season. But watching him today, I mean, the first goal comes from he drops in to receive the ball, which is stuff that Joseph would do when he was here under Tata. So I think that is what he wants a striker to be. He wants a striker to receive, to play with it, almost kind of like a deep-lying Harry Kane type striker. He wants them to be involved in the play. I don't think that's Latte La's game. I think he wants to get in behind. He wants the ball over the top. And so that bad touch that leads to the first goal, that's kind of expected from him. So it's a situation where I don't think you brought in the right players for the manager that you have. Which, I mean, I don't think you brought in the right players in general, because a lot of these players just aren't quality enough. So there's just a lot about this team right now that I look at it and go, this is not a good team. This is not even a decent team. This is an awful team. Even looking at the subs coming in, I know no Almiron tonight, so that does hurt not having that quality. Saba loves Janiste. He's a decent player, but he's more the hard work type of player that you want around the more talented, more creative players. He's just going to run. That's his whole thing. He's going to run until you wear somebody down. And that's great to have. But if you don't have the talent around him, if you don't have the quality on the ball around him, a lot of that running just doesn't lead to anything. Fafa Pico, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know he's kind of an elderly statesman of the game, I suppose, in the MLS. But I didn't see much from him tonight. He just is kind of out there. Didn't feel like he created anything. Togashi up top, he has a lot of hard work. He does like to chase down the ball whenever the other team's passing around the back. But I don't really see any finishing quality from him that you would want out of a striker. Honestly, that's something I don't think any of our strikers have. So that's probably something we should look to improve. And then, like I said, Amador was another one, came in, didn't really provide much. And that's really all there is to say about the players. So once again, this team not well set up. It's a team that has fallen apart since the first time Tata Martino was here. And now that he's back, it just shows how far we've fallen. That not even a good manager like him can come in and take the team that we have and do anything successful with them. The players that we've brought in have not been good enough. The way that we've run this club has not been good enough. You've lost a majority of the fans. I think this is probably the first season where I have not wanted to go to any of the games, even though my family has season tickets, even though the stadium is not too far away from me. I could easily go to a majority of these home games. I don't want to. I don't want to waste my Saturday night being in a stadium where I'm going to watch my team lose. I'd rather watch it from home so that way I can turn it off if I want to and go do something else, or I can do something else while the game is on. That's where I am right now. And I don't know if this video is going to reach anybody. I don't know if this video is going to actually make its way to the hierarchy of Atlanta United. But if it does, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing to try to turn this around? Because from what I can see, I don't see any ambition at this club anymore. I don't see an ambition to get better. All I see is just, we're just going to bring in some random players. We're just going to bring back Almiron. We're just going to bring back Tata Martino. That'll fix it. No, you have to actually build a team. And this defense that you've put together, that you've scrabbled together, it's nowhere near good enough. This is a trash defense and a trash keeper. That's just the base of it. The midfield's not good enough. The attack is all disconnected. They don't work together. There's just so much about this that it feels like it was almost like you went on FIFA or Football Manager and you just found some players. Oh, he's highly rated. Oh, he's highly rated. That's what we used to joke about with Bocanegra. Now he's gone and we still have the same problem. You just bring in players that are highly rated without thinking about, well, do they fit together? Do they work together in a team? Do they work together for the type of manager we have? There's none of that thought process. It's just, let's just pick these talents and see what happens. This is what happens. You lose most of your matches. So honestly, the main reason I'm here and the main reason I'm going to try to start doing more reviews is because I do want to call out this board. I do want to call out the people up top who have made such awful decisions. I know it's not all on them because it started before some of them were in here, but they've not done anything to make it better. They've come in and in some ways they made it worse, because at the very least we were making playoffs with some of the previous people here. Now we're going to be lucky if we don't finish bottom of the table every year. But anyway, that'll do it for me. Those are all my thoughts. I still don't have an outro ready, so please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see me rant about Atlanta United in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are as well. Also, if you want to see me talk TV shows and movies, I do have another channel, Mason the Brock Henderson. And if you want to see me play some video games, I have another channel, Mason Hindo Plays, so check those out if you have time. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.